In this lecture, I'll be talking about pet sets, stateful distributed apps on a Kubernetes cluster. Pet sets is a new feature starting from Kubernetes 1.3. It is introduced to be able to run stateful applications that need a stable pod hostname instead of a pod name dash and then a random string. What we've used up till now is whenever we used a deployment or replica set, then there was some degree of randomness in our pod name. Your pod name will have an index when having multiple instances of a pod, instead of that random string. For instance, pod name -0, pod name -1 and pod name -2. Another reason why you would use pet sets is when you have a stateful app that requires multiple pods with volumes based on their ordinal number, which means pod name dash and then the number, or that needs a static host name. Also know that when you use pet sets, currently deleting and or scaling a pet set down will not delete the volumes associated with the pet sets. So they want to make sure that when you use pet sets, the volumes are not just deleted. So what does it mean? A pet set will allow your stateful app to use DNS to find other peers. For instance, this can be useful for Cassandra clusters, Elasticsearch cluster, that use DNS to find other members in the cluster. One running node of your pet set is called a pet, which is one node in a Cassandra cluster. Using pet sets, you can run, for instance, 5 Cassandra nodes on Kubernetes named Cassandra 0 until Cassandra 5. And those can then discover each other, because those are peers, based on this static hostname in the pod. If you wouldn't use pet sets, you would get a dynamic hostname which you wouldn't be able to use in your configuration files, as the name of your pod can always change. So the big difference here is that you don't really want to just connect to a service and then you're going to get any pod. You want to make sure that, for instance, Cassandra node 1 connects to Cassandra node 5. And to make that work, you need pet sets, because only with pet sets you have the static hostname of your pod, so you're going to know the hostname of the other pod to connect to. A pet set will also allow your stateful app to order your startup and teardown of the pets. Instead of randomly terminating one pet, which is one instance of your app, you will know which one that will go. This is useful if you first need to drain the data from a node before you can shut it down. If you're using Cassandra, you will know what this means. If you want to shut down one node in your cluster, you first need to stop sending data to it. There's still a lot of future work that needs to be done for pet sets. Pet sets are currently still in alpha. I will add a demo when it becomes more stable. So there might be still things that are going to change. Whenever it becomes more stable, I will add a demo to this course.